Well, good evening and welcome to My Psychic Connection. I'm your host, Journey Ryan. It is Thursday night, guys. You know what that means? We are here with our dream interpreter, Maren. Hey!
Hi, hello. Great to be here.
Absolutely. We got lots of people already saying hey. So, hey, guys. I see everybody in there. All right. We got Victor saying hi and Margarita and Georgina. And all right. It's a full house tonight. So, I'm loving it.
Well, I is this a good time?
Absolutely. Anytime is the best time.
Okay. I thought I would start out by talking about dream language. And, I just want to encourage, and I'm going to repeat this a lot, but I encourage journaling. When you have a dream, try and wake up slowly and kind of, breathe into the images and just jot them down. And then later read it to yourself and see what feelings come up, see what images come forward. Now, I am here to help you I'm here to make suggestions and just try and help with some dream images. What does it mean for you? And the dream story is in the context of the dreamer. So I don't know you. I don't know anything about the dream. So I ask questions. So when you send in your question, try and put as much detail as you can. And that will help me, that will kind of help me with the context of the dream story. So for example, let's say you had a dream about a bear. So if you would, just let me know, what does a bear mean to you? Then I would ask questions. What in waking life is bearing down on you? What is it that is unbearable? Or the other thing too would be, do you feel bare? Do you feel bare naked? And so another thing might be your relationship with the bear. So what does a bear mean to you? And then I would say, well, bears hibernate. It's a solitary kind of life. So do you need to rest? Do you need to take time to go into a cave, into the cave of your soul and just rest and kind of disconnect? So I just gave you a whole range of what the symbol or what the image bear could be in your dream. So again, I'm here to make suggestions, just kind of point it out maybe, so that you can look at it later. And then that's where the richness of the dream story will come forth for you.
Right. Sounds amazing. All right. So we got some people waiting in line for us. Now, remember, guys, if you'd like to be able to get your dream, get ready. When we call out your name, we'll go ahead and present your dream to us. And then from there, if you want to jump the list and get ahead of everybody else, remember there is a donation button that will help you get ahead of the list. So don't hesitate to use that. And I will place that on here for everybody to see. But our first person who's going to be getting a dream interpretation tonight will be Ann Starr. So Ann, if you'd like, please present your dream to us so we can put that forward. And then after Ann Starr is Christina, unless somebody decides to jump the list. And then we'll go from there. All right, Brittany, you are already on the list, but if you want to get ahead of everybody else, I just placed the donation button. So if you'd like to just jump the list, you most certainly can. So Ann, yes. Then Ann, if you could just place your question with us. And remember, guys, we are doing dream interpretations. Remember, I was talking about the journaling throughout the week and bringing those journals forward so we could take a look. I know some of you have got some dreams that are very interesting. I was just talking to Maren about one that I have that seems to be a consistent dream. It just changes its appearance. And it was very interesting as I see new lights coming my way, new orbs. It's very interesting. All right. So we'll give you a couple more seconds, and if we don't hear from you here in just a couple seconds, we'll go ahead and go to Christina, and we'll take her dream interpretation. All right. Let's see here. So it's definitely been very active in my dream state here recently. I've been having the dreams a little bit more consistently. I don't know if anybody else has been feeling that way, but it's been that way for me. Dreams are being more vivid, a lot stronger, repeating themselves, like
Yes.
trying to get that message across. So I just want to, let people know they're not the only ones. If they're having these dreams happen over and over again, that most definitely, that's how it's working for me. All right, Anne. So didn't hear anything from you. So we're going to go ahead with Christina. And Christina says, hello, Ryan and Marin. I had a dream last night that Ivan was in it, but I don't know what it means. Here is my dream. I saw myself and Ivan and a guy friend, I guess he knew. I didn't know him at a store, and we all three were at this one store in an aisle talking, and out of nowhere Ivan tells his friend, show her the $100 bill. And so show me the $100 bill had to be specific to Ivan, but I don't know why. So then Ivan says, it's a great $100 bill, isn't it? And said, yeah, sure. Truth be told, it had something written on it, but I don't remember what it said after I got woken up. So I'm going to place the beginning of that on there for you, and let you take a look at that.
Okay, so what I'm seeing is there's three people. Yourself and who is Ivan?
Ivan, a gentleman that she is interested in, has known for a very long time.
Okay. And a guy friend. I guess he knew. Okay, so now we have an unknown, someone that is unknown to you. So that's the third person. And then may I have the second screen? I try and take notes, but
yes. Man.
Okay. So tells his friend, show her. Out of nowhere, Ivan tells his friend, so the friend is male, to show the $100 bill. Okay, so now we have monetary, and the increment is 100. So now I think, 100%, what is 100? Is one a singular number with zeros emphasizing that singular? So may I see the third screen? It's a great $100 bill. And I said, yeah, sure, truth be told, it had something written on it. Okay, so, now I'm seeing something that is valuable, money that is, money is considered value, but something is written on it. So now I'm wondering what's written on it. And now I'm wondering what the third person, because the third person is unknown to you, who is showing you something of value, but has been defaced somehow. So I don't know really where else I can go with that. I would ask, what does money mean to you? Was something defaced? Do you know who this third person is? What do they look like? What kind of feeling do you get from that third person who is handing you a defaced monetary something of value. So now I'm wondering what that third person is. And do you have any insight on that? This third person is giving you something of value, but it's been defaced.
Yes, there was something that was written on it, but I don't know what it was. And the guy friend, I don't know him. What do you mean by defaced?
Okay, there was something. What I understand from what you wrote, there was something written on the $100 bill. So technically, legally, we're not supposed to be writing on money, because this is something valuable. So now it's being altered. It's being written on. So that's kind of what I mean by defaced. There's a face on a $100 bill, or on all the bills, basically. But there's something that's written on it. And technically, I mean, you know, when you go to the ATM, I've seen phone numbers written on bills, and it's like, really? But, you know, in this case, there is something written on a note paper that is of value. So basically, it's being defaced or altered. And you don't know this person, but this third being, I'm wondering if that's the key. I'm wondering if that is, you know, if the dream image is bringing forth this third person who's handing you something. So now I would want to know, what kind of feeling do you get from that third person? How do you feel when you get that bill that's altered? Is what you see, is the writing that you see, does that make you uncomfortable? And so that's why I think I'm gearing more to Ivan's friend, because that friend is communicating with you in a valuable way, but in an altered sense as well.
Says, okay, I get what you're saying. Yes, that's what I don't remember what it said.
Okay. So that's why I'm wondering, you know, I would want to connect with Ivan's friend, because that is another personality, another entity that is a communication between you and Ivan. So I would want to know who that third person is, bringing forth something of value, and yet something was written on it to alter that, whatever it is of value. So I would want to go back into the dream and discover.
When he handed me the bill, when he handed the bill to me, I was just feeling normal and happy because I was with Ivan, not because of the money.
Okay, so absolutely. But yet the money was there. And
said, yeah, the friends seem to have special place in his life.
Okay. And that, because I want to take the ego out. I want to take the head, you know, the headspace out. So you're happy being with someone that you're close to. And yet the dream, what's coming forth is a third person that you don't really know, but yet that third person is there. And it's not really about the money, but yet the money is there and it has been written upon. So my suggestion is take the time to think about who that third person is. There's a communication that's going on with someone that you don't really know, but someone that is communicating through something of value that's been altered. So I hope that's at least a beginning to understanding this dream figure, this dream imagery.
So that's so true. Says, I can describe the friend, but I have never met the friend.
Okay. So you can describe the friend, and then how does that make you feel? How does this person make you feel? Is it, kind of a neutral? Is it, is there a warning? I just have a feeling that third person is coming up for a reason. And the monetary value of something is coming up for some reason. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff out there. Are you considering moving in together, apartment, buying a house, buying something of value? But there's buying a car, but something's wrong with it. Getting into something financial, but there's something altered. I mean, again, it's like the whole range of a bear. So I'm just throwing many things out there. But I think the key, at least what I'm sensing, is that friend. And what kind of sense do you get from this third?
He made me feel welcomed. I liked the third person in the group between Ivan and him.
Like you were the third person in the group. Okay, so it's kind of an equal sharing. Okay.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, Christina, some of the things that I see here in the value and the money and in the situation in which you are talking about Ivan, who's going to be making an appearance soon, and he's been silent for you, and I feel like your dream is trying to prepare you that this time that he's been away has defaced the value of the friendship, and I think that's where the money comes in. And by this other person bringing you guys back together made you feel warm and excited and comfortable. So when he comes to, I'm assuming when he comes to move forward, it's because he's talked to his friend. It's because he's doing these things. So just get ready and get prepared. That's what it's showing here. She says her last thing here was yes. It was all equal.
Good.
All right. Hey, honey, guys, we are doing dream interpretations tonight. We're not doing readings. So just so you know, I see Kaylee has donated, but we're not doing readings tonight. So if you have a dream, you can provide that and you'll jump the list. But Kay is next because she has jumped the list. She says that's okay. You want a dream interpretation? Because we'll be more than happy to interpret those dreams for you. Okay, just want to make sure you know. That way you get the opportunity. But tomorrow we're definitely doing readings. We'll be here with Aquarius Roberts. And she said, yes, she would like a dream interpretation. Awesome. Get ready for your dream. Kay is next with her dream. And then after that, it will be Kaylee. All right, so let's go ahead with Kay's dream. Oh, boy. It says my father and his brother, my Uncle Joe, who is a priest, staying with us for 6 months, are sitting on the front porch of, as we would call it, the pizza or the
The
pizza.
piazza?
Uh, this takes place in the 1960s when I was little. When I was little, my older brother was playing basketball with two brothers across the street. Their fathers had a heart attack coaching basketball at the grade school down the street. My girlfriend Mary Beth came to my house to play Twister in my house, and then we went out to play jump rope in the front of my. She said, "Give me time. I'm still writing."
Okay.
Well, while you're looking at this, this gives you a chance to interpret this part.
Okay. So the uncle is a priest, and this is all in the dream. He's staying at the house for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
The front porch is called a piazza.
Mm-hmm.
What is a piazza?
I'm not sure.
Sitting on the front porch, as we would call it, the piazza. So this is in the 1960s, and a priest is staying for 6 months. There's an older brother with two brothers, their father. Okay, so their father had a heart attack. Is that kind of a backstory that's not part of the dream? So your older brother, so now we have a father, an uncle, and a brother. I tend to look at generations.
That's what I was doing too.
Yeah. And it's all masculine type of energy. So if we look at the dream figures as part of ourselves, we can also look at it that way. But this is a long time ago. This is in the 1960s. So now I'm wondering, in waking life, what has brought back a memory? What sparked this past memory? And it's a generational thing, and it's also a masculine thing. When you're sitting in the front porch, you're sitting outside yourself, in the front. But that's why I'm wondering what a piazza is. Piazza. I suppose I could look it up.
Waiting for the other part of the dream.
Yeah. Play jump rope in front of my ...
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a friend that came to the house and played, these games that are of childhood, like Twister and jump rope. So that's why I'm wondering, what was it that brought back these young memories?
So a piazza is a public square or marketplace.
Oh,
in an Italian town, and especially in an Italian town.
Okay.
The veranda of a house is also the other.
So it's like an old-fashioned large front porch. I'm imagining, the front porch with a fence around it, and you can put chairs.
Yeah, the swing.
Yeah, you can put chairs and whatever else and sit on the front porch. So that's public. So now it's outside oneself. And there's play. There's a lot of play. Um, and so that's why I'm wondering what in waking life brought back a childlike memory. Did someone, someone reminds you of childhood play? It's quite a sweet, sweet dream imagery. But now I want to know what's happening next.
Yes, me too. Remember, Kay, we can only see so much, so don't put too much in one thing because it takes it away for some reason. She says, in front of my house, on the front porch, my father represents love. My uncle was touched because he came to visit from the Philippine Islands. Was a teach of under.
Okay, so he taught underprivileged children.
Mm-hmm.
He was a teacher, and everyone is passed. So, except for the boys. So that's why I wonder what brought back a childhood memory. What in waking life was encountered that kind of sparked this childlikeness? I mean, did the father give a message? The uncle is a priest.
Said, except for the boys across the street, me and Mary Beth is a true story.
Right. So now this is a true story. So I'm wondering what the dream imagery is. I'm wondering what in waking life, what brought back that child.
Also passed. To me, I'm picking up a search for trying to find happier times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
yeah. A generational, a generational longing for simpler times.
Right.
Simpler childlike times. And, so what would be the medicine in a dream like this? Hoping for childlike times. So if it were my dream, as I phrase things sometimes, and that is one of the, I would consider play, art, dancing, an instrument, something that is playful. And so that's why I'm wondering if the medicine of this dream is the encouragement of play. Things have been really heavy duty lately. And so now the dream self is saying, there's been a lot of passing. There's been a lot of heaviness. But go out in the public. Go out in public and dance. Go out in public and do something silly. Do a twister thing. Twist.
Absolutely.
Jump.
She says it sounds.
I hope that. Pardon?
She said that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. Yes.
Yes. It's time to have fun, but we're looking at the past and the generations and thinking about the past and where the fun was, or last, things that touched her heart. This stream was about heartstrings, is what I was getting. And with the generations on top of it.
And I mean, it's also mentioning twister. So let's twist,
Dancing.
Let's jump.
Exactly. Basketball. That's a lot of workout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I was picking up as, things are, looking for that happiness, connecting to that past that made her happy, brought her joy, things to that nature.
Simpler times in the 60s. Well, I don't know if the 60s were that simple.
Your health is awful.
Okay.
You can't really walk.
Okay, paint. You know, I mean, anything that I have a singing bowl.
Yes.
You know, if you can see it in the background. I'm not as young as I used to be. You know, but I took a class in drumming. I took a class in djembe, African style drumming. And hey, I can, you know, I can give it a whirl there. Or I play, it's called a tongue drum. You know, oh, do you remember? I sure do. Oh, do I remember Twister? Yes, I remember the twist. So, yeah, I remember many things like that. And it was a simpler time. It was, you know, we had no responsibilities. As children, you know, the adults had to come up with it all. And we had no responsibilities. We could take our bikes and go out riding. And they were when you were about 8 years old. Well, yeah. Oh, thank you for bringing that dream. That was really fun. Now I want to do some twisting, or I want to do some joyful playing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kay, so much for your dream tonight. It was beautiful, and I'm glad it was able to bring you a happiness, and also dream reminding you to bring something to the spice it up a little bit, as Moran said, do some painting or do something that makes you, you know, that brings you some joy and some happiness, even if it's writing and maybe writing a poem or doing something of that nature. So, hi guys. Remember, we are doing dream interpretations tonight. Tomorrow night, we are doing psychic readings. So, if you have a dream that you would like to bring forward, then we'll be more than happy to interpret that dream for you. Just remember, Thursday nights we do dream interpretation. All right. So, Chaos said my father was also loving, and his brother was a priest. Was tough.
Tough.
All right.
A lot of disciplinarian, you know. Yes, my father was so kind. I know that in past programs I've said I was daddy's girl and proud of it. Yes, I miss my father very much. It's amazing how he comes forth in,
Yes.
you know, during your show. So I'm very grateful.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Well, Kaylee is joining us tonight from Facebook, and she says, I was dating a guy for a little bit, but didn't really go anywhere. I have dreams about him with another girl. His ex, I have to be okay with in the dream. It is pretty much telling me to move on. My ex that passed on was also in the dream, but he never talks. I just wonder what's going on. Super vague, but I don't really remember more. This is the dream I remember.
Okay, so what I'm reading is my ex that passed on. So is the ex someone who passed away, and then you dated someone after that? You know, I'm just trying to get the sequence here.
So she had a guy that she was dating that didn't go anywhere, but he showed up in her dream with an ex-girlfriend of his that she was okay with in the dream, and that her ex-boyfriend prior to that had passed away, but he was in the dream but never talks.
So was the relationship with the ex?
Mike is alive. Marco passed on.
Okay, so was the relationship with the ex a good one? You know, was it a loving, was it close? Because now I'm sensing that he really didn't say much in waking life. And now I'm wondering, what was he doing in the dream? And he didn't, but he wasn't talking. Because kind of what it's kind of a desire dream. Sometimes I call them desire dreams. When, oh, it ended bad. We loved each other, but toward the end, he got kind of violent. Okay. So that's why I'm wondering, towards the end there, it wasn't pleasant. And that's not what is being discussed. That's not what he really cares to talk about. So now I'm thinking there's something behind that message. And then, but I'm sensing a search for closeness, a search for connecting, because having to accept not being the only one, not being the one that is loved and thought of as number one. Instead, having to accept that this person is still seeing somebody else. So now I'm not feeling like I'm a number one. And the fact that the ex has passed on, and I'm very, blessings. That's why I think, that's why I asked, what kind of relationship was that? Because it kind of makes sense that he's there, but doesn't talk. It's not something that he can talk about. It's not something that he can share. And it may not be something that you will ever know, because there's something in his past, perhaps before he met you, that is very hard to talk about. And so therefore, in the dream, he comes up silent. But there was some connection there in waking life. I hope that resonates. I hope that helps.
I also picked up too, with the ex passing and looking at this relationship, the energy that circles on both is that he didn't say much because he was letting her make decisions for herself, but didn't see this as a good relationship either. And she says, yes, that makes sense. And thank you. You're welcome, sweetheart. You are welcome. All right, guys. We are still going straight down the list. Georgina, we did take you off. I know you said you don't remember your dreams, but we love that you watch the show. So next in line is JS from YouTube. So JS, if you could please share with us your dream. And while you are putting your dream together, we are going to take a 30-second break, but we'll be right back to take Jazz's reading. We are back, and Jazz, are you with us still? All right. While we're waiting on Jazz to bring us their dream, Victor P from YouTube. Victor P, please bring forth your your dream. And after Victor, we have Margarita, unless someone jumps the list to get their dream interpreted before everybody else. So, all right. Let's see. We got Jazz, Victor P, and Margarita. One of you three come on down and bring us your dream.
Come on down.
You are next. All right. Well, while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and check the jump list to see if anybody has jumped the list. That way we can get them put in place to be first. Take a look here and see what's going on. All right. So far, we've gotten everybody who's jumped list. So if you guys are anxious to get a dream read, you can jump the list. Just click the donation button, and that will get you ahead of everybody else. All right. So Jazz, Victor P, Margarita. All right. All right. Victor is coming. There we go.
Okay.
We got Victor. Victor says, I had a dream a while ago, and many like it over the years, where I was driving a car and I suddenly lose control and start spinning in circles. So far, that's all he's got.
Okay. Okay, I'm just writing it, writing some things down. Oh, I understand the metaphor about feeling out of control or unbalanced, but sometimes I'll get hit by a random tractor, trailer, or something similar, or get stuck on railroad tracks. So there's tracks here.
Mm-hmm.
Get stuck on railroad tracks or get hit by, was that a train?
Yes, a train. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a tractor and there's tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, but now I'm wondering about the tractor. What is being tracked or what's not being tracked? And railroads are, getting stuck on railroad tracks is quite scary. So this because getting stuck and then here comes a train, that's, not only are you in a car out of control, but then there's the impact of a train. So, I'm now wondering about the tracks. What is not being tracked, or what is being tracked of, going on a track and yet coming to an abrupt end. It reminds me of, there's a movie called Inception, where Leonardo DiCaprio is on a train track and he has his ear, listening, or he has his ear on the train track, and there has to be a decision, or there has to be some kind of revealing information, and that information has to be told now, before the train comes and before there's an impact. So that's why I'm wondering now, what is being tracked, or what is needed to be tracked? Is there an answer that needs to be decided on before impact? So it might be spinning out of control, it might feel unbalanced, but for me, the pun, or the medicine is the track. What needs to be tracked? Does that make sense?
So we're waiting for him to respond here.
Yeah.
I was picking up here too on the situation. The tractor trailer to me was showing me here taking on a heavier load than anticipated, which is just saying to focus the track with putting back in place. But
Yeah. So what is that heavy load?
mm-hmm.
You
And he
know?
said, yes, it makes sense.
Yeah. There and like you said, Ryan, there's tracking a heavy load.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the heavy load? And does a decision need to be made before impact? Does a decision need to be made before it just drags? So that good. I'm glad that it makes sense because that is your homework, because this seems to be a reoccurring dream. I think the first screen you mentioned, it has come up. So there's some heavy duty thinking there, maybe some heavy duty decisions to make.
And the spinning out of control means that this has been something that's been constant, that he loses control over all the time.
And feels unbalanced. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm thinking that the dream about the train, that impact, it's like, okay, enough of the spinning.
Right.
Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. And, make that decision or whatever that is. I hope that makes sense.
I think it's going to resonate with him real well.
Good.
Knowing that the decisions need to be made, but yet, unfortunately, prior to other things that he took on, it was too much. So now he's getting to find that straight and narrow direction in which he needs to get himself away from all of that. So it definitely felt like the life was a little bit more compacted than he anticipated. But to me, I feel as though he'll get back on track.
He'll get back on track. Good one.
Well, thank you so much, Victor. Thank you for bringing that dream forward. And get back on track. Stop taking on too much.
Good one.
Not everybody needs a tractor trailer. All right, Margarita, you are next. And then Susan. Margarita and Susan, if you could bring forth your dream, let's go ahead and take a look to see if anybody has jumped the list, because we don't want to miss out on those who are jumping the list to get ahead. And forgive me, guys, I'm on my dinosaur computer right now, so even though it was bought last year, it's slower than everything else. I know.
Mine is the Stone Age. Oh my God. Okay.
Victor says, thank you, guys. You're welcome.
You're very welcome. Thank you for bringing that forward.
Absolutely. Nicole, we are doing dream interpretation. So if you have a dream you'd like to bring forth, we'll be more than happy to give you a reading on the dream and interpret that for you to see what stands out. We're going to be doing psychic readings tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern with Aquarian Roberts, and he will be joining us as our special guest. And but tonight we are all about dreams. All right. Now, Margarita had her dream put out there. Let's see. I got a couple of them on here. Trying to get to Margarita's. All right. Where did it go? That's why I say. She says, I dream. Okay. She says, I just wanted to pop in and give my hello. I dream every night, but I can't remember. But thank you, Marin and Journey. Good night. Oh, well, you're welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Good night. That's very sweet.
That is very sweet.
But I encourage you to try and remember a snippet.
Absolutely.
And journal, with your eyes closed. Write it down, a snippet. And then, yeah, it might be able to develop.
Right. Absolutely. Then you'll be able to remember key phrases, words more will come up. All right. So, Susan and Ruby, if you have a dream, come forth. If neither one of you guys have a dream to bring forth, then it's Brittany Hammonds. Brittany Hammonds will be on here too. So Susan, Ruby, or Brittany, bring forth your dreams. Remember, guys, we are doing dream interpretations. So we're not doing readings tonight, Zambi. Tomorrow night we'll be doing the readings, okay? So Nicole said no on her dreams. Just doesn't remember. All right. So Susan, Ruby, Brittany. All right, we got Lily. Zenbe, if you have a dream you'd like to share, we'll be more than happy to talk with you about that. So Susan, Ruby, Brittany, Lily, Roxanne, or Amanda Lopez. Let's see who's still with us here. All right.
I'm still on the train tracks.
I know, I'm still on the track.
That was amazing. And I'm on the porch.
On the porch, looking at generations. All right. So I don't see any of the others I just called out. So Amanda Lopez, Christy Hedgewood, Sierra L, and Virgo Queen. These are the next in line, and then Darlene. So let's see. We've got Amanda Lopez, Chrissy Hedgewood, Sierra L, and Virgo Queen. One of y'all throw me your dreams. Let's see where we're at. We're getting those retrograde things popping in where people are losing their signal and stuff too. All right, we've got Sierra here. Sierra says, hi, guys. Reoccurring dream, 3 people, me, my mother, and her ex-fiance, Cody. He's hiding out in a trailer we all used to live in together, and eventually I looked around and I could see me and my mother getting out of a vehicle, walking towards the trailer, and I am comforting Cody, saying, how could he lie to us? Where have you been this entire time? And he says, I've been here hiding out so nobody can find me. I didn't lie about the suicide. Then he's showing me another side of the story. If I really, or I guess we got to wait for the rest of it after I'll give you a chance to take a look at that. And while she puts up the rest, Sierra, could you get us the rest of it after I really?
Yeah.
Okay. She's got the other part here.
Okay.
Would you like to see
that? Yeah, sure.
Because I really didn't do it. So he started showing him and my mom staying together, but eventually things were going down a dark path again. Like all he wanted to do was protect her and keep us safe from what he couldn't fight was his demons that he couldn't face alone.
Okay. This is what was communicated in the dream?
Yes.
Okay. Because what kind of struck me was the trailer. Something is being trailed. What's being trailed is something trailing behind. you know, another one of the trailer dreams. But you know, it's, may I see the first part?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's hiding out in the trailer, and I can see me and my mother getting out of a vehicle, walking toward the trailer. So there is a travel. There is a travel walking towards something that was trailed. He's showing me another side of the story. And may I see the second part? He's showing me another side of the story. I really didn't do it. So he starts showing him and my mom. He starts showing him and my mom.
It might have been me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Staying together. Okay. Keep it safe. He couldn't fight. Okay, so I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know where to go with this, because you know, there's something trailing. If this is a reoccurring dream, it's being played like you know, just like on repeat. And so now I'm wondering if it's hard to accept this explanation because it keeps coming up. Is there another explanation there? Is there something that perhaps not convinced? You know, that the dream self is not quite convinced, and that keeps playing it over so that something different will happen or something different will be revealed. And, you know, what I would do, I mean, this is, if it were someone that I knew that was hurting, I would go back into the dream and try and reimagine, what is this person hurting? You know, what is hurting this person? And because there's something being trailed. And then perhaps trying to reimagine a more positive outcome. And then working with that to accept the circumstances. Now, is this person living? Because I got from the previous screen that that there was a suicide.
Right.
So I mean, it sounds like a message, more of a deeper message is coming through. Again, it's not being accepted, or it might not be understood. And that memory keeps coming back. It keeps getting spurred. I never knew if he was reaching out to me, if he needed my help. Now I know he called my mom the day before. Oh, he committed suicide. And he told her he just wanted us there with him. Okay, so that's what I think is being trailed. And that may be, again, I'm trying to understand the context of this dream, and I'm wondering if there's a little sense of guilt, and it keeps replaying and replaying. I mentioned before, again, this is just my feeling, that when a person passes on, they go into nirvana, and they come back perhaps to try and explain, but more so that things are okay. That's why I think it's the dream self. You know, parts of our brain that feel that kind of guilt, that replays the old movie and tries to understand it. So in this instance, you know, I'm wondering if if a therapist who is knowledgeable of dream language can help process out what is being trailed. Because it seems like that car, that vehicle that you're traveling in, it shows up at the trailer. And I hope that resonates somehow.
I was picking up when you were saying it too, is that the dream self's not truly trusting in the fact that he did what he's done, and the wanting to understand the inner demons that she can't get past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, good. I'm glad. Thank you. Suicide is very difficult. It's a very personal thing that it's more acceptable when someone passes with an illness or an accident. But sometimes we have to accept that it's their choice to end their physical life.
Absolutely.
And that's hard.
Right. That's one of the most difficult parts.
Ugh.
Well, thank you, Sierra, for your dream. I hope that helped. And, start writing more down to it, because I feel like there's a couple little pieces that you're not seeing just yet. And I think those are the parts that were going to help you. Like, was there a certain color that you're seeing? Is there, is he whispering? Is he things of that nature when he's talking to explain? Is he keeping it a secret? That would, help us a little bit more with that type of energy. So, all right. So we got Virgo Queen, who's going to send us her dream. I have it here. And then Darlene Green will be providing us with one of her dreams as well. So we're going to start with Virgo Queen, and then we'll go to Darlene Green. And hello, Tiffany. And she goes, thank you so much. Absolutely. So yeah, just kind of journal that a little bit, because I think there's some little pieces that will help you better understand where you can get past this dream.
Yeah, and better accept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maren's talked in the past about, like, someone mentioned a bench. There's ants on the wall. They're going on a straight line. Even if these things don't feel like they make a lot of sense to you in waking light, it's in the dream, they mean much more and have a deeper meaning.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where the dream language comes in and provides you with some hidden answers. All right. So we got Virgo Queen says, I had a dream where I was face to face with the devil. All I saw was his face and body around me. The dark red. I had this dream twice, both at my old house. The first time I had the dream, I was scared. The second time I had the dream, I was not scared. I just threw him back to hell and never had the dream again. All right, I'm going to put the first part up so you can look at it.
Well, dark red. All I saw was his face and body. All around me was dark red. So I'm actually seeing the medicine in the second part of the second screen.
Yes.
Because the second time I had the dream, I was not scared, and I just threw him back. So that is a real clear sense of having the control, the power, being lucid enough to face whatever the negative energy is and saying, that's it. So you didn't have to be hit by a train, in other words. You could just say to the redness, to the blood, to the fiery anger, the passion, the our blood essence. That's enough. I've had enough. And you threw him back, and you never had that dream again. That is, that's a wonderful way of working out trauma dreams, nightmares, is to really face it. So I applaud you. I think, that is hard to do sometimes, but to be able to have, be lucid enough or take charge enough, your waking self could take charge enough to have the dream self say, that's enough, done. And as you mentioned, never had that dream again. So that's wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up, because that really does help when people have a scary dream, traumatic dream, terrible, facing spiders, demons, crazy things, to turn around and look at it. Yes, I did feel more in control the second time I had the dream. Absolutely. And if you want to take it a step further, I would face this disturbing image and say, why did you show up in the first place? What was it? Why did you come in the first place? And what was it in waking life that made that decision enough? I've had enough. So I'm wondering now in waking life, what was it that you took full control over? Because the dream self is saying, face it, and then get rid of it. So that's a beautiful dream. Thank you for bringing that. That really, I think that really helps with other people who have had disturbing dreams like that. Face it, tell it, all right, enough already.
Because I didn't talk to him, but I felt like I overcame a big obstacle.
Absolutely. I'm just, suggesting, some of the ways in handling scary images is to say, what? What the? Why? But I mean, that's one way. But the fact that, in the dream, had enough, threw him back, done. Thank you.
All right. So, darling, you had something she had said before. Let me try to get to it. There we go. So I had a dream I can't get out of my head, but after my husband passed over a year ago, I had a dream that I was in the bathroom. When I opened the door, a man was there. I didn't recognize him, but he grabbed me by my arm and brought me to the kitchen counter where the phone is.
I remember this dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a communication. It was about a communication. The only new things that I can offer with this dream is, when we're in the bathroom, that's a very private area. And I would tend to want to communicate with this man. I can't get the dream back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but what does that mean? I can't get the dream back.
Wanting to have the dream again, but she can't seem to get the dream to come back.
Okay. Because I remember this dream on one of your shows, Ryan.
Yeah.
And because I think I mentioned,
So my husband had a heart attack in there.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
um, that this dream image is trying to bring forth some kind of communication. And that is something, you know, to meditate on, to journal about it, to create a mandala, a knitting, you know, just some kind of creativeness. And then you might be able to hear what this man that's grabbing you by the arm and taking you to a phone. So I'm thinking that it's a matter of now physically listening in waking life to try and determine, or try and, with curiosity, what are you trying to say? What am I missing? What am I not hearing? If the dream is not coming back, it's driving me nuts. You know, and that's why I would really just try and sit quietly and try and communicate with this dream image that's taking you to the phone. Because I think the answer may be there. And it's a matter of getting out of the ego, getting out of the mind. You know, what is it? What is it? Instead of, you know, rather the thing might be to just calm and relax and come down to the self, get out of the ego, get out of the head, and start to listen to what this person, what this image is saying. Is there a relaxation thing or something that those of us that can't remember dreaming that would help? Well, you know, again, it just depends on, I can't recommend any specific something. You know, that whatever technique, I've done guided meditations, and there are people that have, you know, inhale and exhale. There are different types of meditations.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to music. When I've had when I've gone through a transition in my life, I like to draw mandalas, and it's just a circle, and I take my crayons and my markers and I start drawing, and I will get little snippets of, oh, I just drew tears. I just drew a cloud. I just drew a flower, you know, and then things start to pop up. So it's something that is a practice, just to keep working at it. And it sounds like this needs to be brought up gently, because the phone is there, but there is a guide or a mentor in the middle that's grabbing your arm in your most private space, in the bathroom, from the bathroom. So somewhere that is just, you know, your own, and trying to bring you to the telephone. So that's why I would want to get to know that dream image, that who's, you know, the person that's grabbing the arm, the gentleness, the I'm leading you there. And then once you make a connection with that companion, with that, you know, leading, helping person, then I'm wondering if you'll be able to answer the phone. So, you know, thank you for bringing this up again. I mean, it's a practice. So I don't want you to be discouraged, but I think what it's saying, and for everyone that can, you know, that everyone that's listening, it's a practice, something that just keeps needing to be reworked, and relaxing and breathing into it whatever the method is going to work for you. I just mentioned with me, it's drawing mandalas, playing music, breathing, inhale, exhale, and then, or, you know, contacting or looking up various kinds of meditations. I hope I don't want you to give up. I know it's driving you nuts. Thank you for saying that. But I do feel that there's a companion there. There's a mentor, a guider.
All right. Well, thank you for all that. And meditation does work.
Well, yeah, I've done guided meditations, and these are stories that come up in my dreams. Relaxing isn't easy. No, it isn't. Yeah, you have to be of that mindset, you know, and being with someone who is calm. Yeah, that's, I mean, I can, you know, I happen to be Buddhist, so sometimes I look into Zen Buddhism,
Right.
You know, and so it's that quietness. But again, the way I do things isn't always, you know, I'm not making you do. Just making suggestions. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Darlene. Thank you so much. Tiffany, you are next on the list. Did you have a dream you'd like to share? After Tiffany is Latoya or Tina Fitzgerald. If any one of you guys would like to share a dream with us, that would be amazing. All right. Take a look here, too, at the jump list to make sure nobody jumped, so I didn't pay attention to that. Sorry. Let's take a look and see. Sorry, it's so slow, computer. It's like do 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 do. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful images coming up.
Yes, beautiful images. Very the dreams that that are being brought forth. We've had generations and getting back on track, taking on too much.
Getting back on track, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hidden messages. I know that there's with the suicide dream, I felt that there's still some hidden messages that she didn't pick up that maybe oh well, why is a green bucket here? That's not important. The important thing is this part. And that's why I say to try to pay attention to as much detail as possible.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, I don't see any more dreams coming through as of right now. If anybody else had any dream that they would like to share. If not, we will be back again tomorrow doing psychic readings with Aquarius Roberts. I always do that. I always get hung up on the Aquarius part. It's always A names I do that with. And, I do that a lot. But yes, we'll be doing readings tomorrow with Aquarius. And I think that's it for tonight. It says you two are so lucky to have this gift. Thank you, Darlene. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And
I just want to keep encouraging you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember, guys, journal, journal, journal. Try to write them down. If not, use your phone. It has a recording device where you can make memos and tell your phone your dream, and then you can play it back and listen to it. Because it always sounds different when you tell yourself something and then you listen back to it and you're like, oh, you know, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, yeah. And you'll pick up on the slip of the tongue. You know, it's like, I didn't really mean to say that, but it came out. And so I pay attention to those things too.
Yes.
You know? And again, you know, there's such healing messages that come out. Read it to yourself, exactly. Play it back to yourself. and then go back into the dream and discover more.
Right. Right. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. It's been wonderful. And catch us next Thursday night doing dream interpretations. Remember, guys, write them down. Put them in your phone, and we'll get ready to tell you all about what we can see with your dreams.
My pleasure.
And Darlene says she's going to try like heck. Well, I hope you're successful. She says, stay safe. You too. And everyone here, stay safe. Thank you so much, Ren. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And we'll catch you next Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night, everybody. This is Journey Ryan and Maren signing out. You guys have a beautiful evening. Check us out tomorrow night with Aquarius Roberts doing psychic readings. Good night, everyone.